All right, your last 3-week training block. So we're gonna change up our strength pieces again. And this is just gonna be a regular rep. So now that you've had time in the pause and tempo, it lends itself really well to movement and feeling strong through some of those sticky spots. So now we get to have potentially the most weight on the bar as we go through our sets of 7, and then 5 and 3 again. And then for our aerobic capacity and our strength endurance pieces, hopefully you've had some fun with the aerobic side of things and you're starting to find something that you enjoy doing, running, rowing. Feel free to stick with that or even change it up. Get outside the box and have fun with that one. And then the strength endurance pieces, guys, we've got some fun ones with carry variations thrown in here, just your traditional pieces, some intervals along the way. And again, by now, you guys should have a really good idea of pacing, finding the value of these, seeing some of the results of them, and then learning a little bit on what volume feels good for you. So if you've got some big rides coming up, stick with the easier version. If you guys are just kind of out for the weekend warrior type stuff, hit up the tougher version and finish strong. All right, gang, last 3-week block, and we're gonna do regular reps. So this potentially has a chance to have the most weight on the bar. Let's use those previous numbers in the past as a guideline, maybe to start out with, then increase weight from there. But now we're gonna focus on the same position, same technique, but I'm not gonna intentionally go slow, but I'm also not gonna go so fast, right? So I'm only gonna go down as low as I need to, or as slow, I should say, as I need to keep that speed for the up end position. So that's gonna depend on the athlete, but going down and up, again, I like to think about control on the way down, and then I stand up with speed. As weight gets heavier, it's gonna make it more helpful for me to accelerate the bar and drive through those sticky spots. Our last 3-week block, now you guys have earned the right with some pause and tempo work, just do regular rep. So this is where we're gonna potentially have most weight on the bar. Everything's the same with our setup. Now I'm just not worried about tempo or movement. So positions still apply with shoulders pinned down and back. My elbows are flaring out to that 45, but now I'm gonna go down with whatever speed I need to and press back up. I'm a huge fan of thinking about accelerating the bar. So even though it might feel heavy from here up, I'm thinking about accelerating or pressing with speed. And what that does, as the weight is lighter, it's gonna create that habit for when it's heavier, so you guys can push into that despite it moving slow. You're gonna try to press it fast. Our final 3 weeks of aerobic capacity. So this is gonna give us a chance to hopefully apply those pacings that we've done earlier to these last 3 weeks. We're gonna see, again, those longer duration efforts. Some of these are gonna be interval based. And this is if you're feeling good, really pushing that pace. Now, again, the RPE is really important. So if you do have some bigger rides or other things coming up that you wanna work on, lean into that. And the reason why is that lets us see how we feel on a day-to-day basis. So your RPE today of 8 might be different than yesterday or the day before. So use that as a daily assessment on how you should tackle these workouts with whatever intensity is listed. All right, gang, week 7, we've got a waiter's walk and a double dumbbell ground to overhead we're gonna show you for this week. So the waiter's walk, it's a great movement. I'm a huge fan of carries for building strength, a little bit friendlier environment. We're gonna have weights in different positions. So we're gonna have one overhead while the other is at the waist. So this is the carry, right? Right arm overhead, left arm at the hip. And then we'd obviously switch sides, walking for the prescribed distance. The double dumbbell ground to overhead. So this one is really tricky. It's really demanding. So I like to have it be between my feet. Start off definitely with lighter weight with this one, because we're gonna have that weight here from the ground, and we're gonna reach, extend our hips aggressively, just like our kettlebell swing, and move the weight overhead. So weight's gonna go from here, touching the floor. I aggressively stand up here and swing them overhead. It's almost like you're cheating a bicep curl. So you can think of it like that. And then the last one is a dumbbell burpee. So typically burpees you'll see people do, they jump and reach their arms overhead. With the dumbbells, you don't need to send them overhead, right? So we're just gonna put our hands on the dumbbells, jump our feet back, push up, hop up, and stand up. Back to the floor. If we need to do the push up from our knees, also totally fine. And then obviously, if the weight's a bit heavy, lighten it, or just do your regular burpee. All right, gang, week 8, we've got a couple movements that we haven't seen yet. One of those is the box plyo skier. So we've done some plyo skiers on the dumbbell or the plate, but this is gonna be more demanding high. So now we're doing the same thing, opposite sides, right? I'm gonna drive off this foot and punch my arms up in the air. That's 1, 2. So we're asking more of that position with a larger range of motion, but it's exactly the same. Next one we're gonna see is a Superman. This is a great one for us to do for low back, especially if we don't have equipment like a GHD. We're gonna lay down on our belly. We're gonna be reaching shoulders or chest up off the ground and feet up off the ground. So range of motion is quite small, but it's asking a lot of our low back. And then the last one is a suitcase lunge. So we've done walking lunges in the past, but a suitcase lunge implies exactly that. We're just holding the weight on one side as we walk through our regular lunge. You're gonna be tempted to wanna slouch your shoulder or rotate in, but try to stay nice and tall as you walk through. Abs are tight. I take a big enough step, that knee is stacked right over my heel. Week 9 movements, last one, we've got some tough ones in here for you. So one of those is a dumbbell box step over. We've done some step ups with the dumbbell, but now we're gonna try to hold 2 of them. We're gonna step up and over the box. So when you do this, try to stand all the way up on the box, that one leg, before you turn and rotate off the other side. Doesn't matter which side you step off, we are gonna alternate for the up, stepping up, all the way up onto the other side. That's our step over. And then the other one, welcome to the thruster. So saved it for that last week. Thruster is a combination of a front squat and a push press. We're gonna keep that front rack position just like we've talked about in other movements, and our squat pattern stays exactly the same. Hips down and back, knees are out. I jump the weight off my shoulders. Again, big range of motion here. So heart rate's gonna go up. It's gonna work you good.